Hey College Success, this is your video for week 6 of the semester. So we're getting through things pretty quickly, it feels like. So this runs from February 22nd through the 28th, and it's a continuation of chapter 2 from week 5. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. I will have the week 5 video still open so that if you need to go back and review the lecture, you can. So I'm going to go ahead and go into chapter 2 in week 6, and just as a kind of a quick refresher at least, so chapter 2 talked about setting goals and choosing a career path. So in the lecture from the previous week, I did go through kind of the benefits of goal setting as well as how to make effective goals and the fact that there's not a huge downside to challenging yourself and setting high goals, as evidenced through this research study we looked at. And we want to make sure, again, that we are setting goals that are effective. We aim high, we challenge ourselves, we believe in ourselves, and we put the time and effort into them to make them come true. So that was the first part of chapter 2. The rest of the chapter really focused heavily on like career exploration and decision making. And so we talked about all the different things that go into our career decisions, who influences our decisions, the theories surrounding why our decisions are made the way they are in regard to our careers, social cognitive theory, happenstance theory, and then our person environment kind of fit theory. We also talked about career indecision and where you could go and what you can do in order to kind of help make those decisions, as well as just knowing yourself. It's really important to do these self-assessments, your values, your abilities, your skills, your interests, and so that you are making the right decision that lines up with who you are, so it leads to overall career satisfaction. So that's where we were with chapter 2. Again, the full lecture is in the previous week, so I'll leave that open for you to access. So that is just a quick reminder. Hopefully that brings, I remember that. So in our assignment folder this week, you'll see that we have 3 assignments. So your discussion board, you do have a discussion post this week, so that's due by Wednesday for your week 6 attendance. You want to make sure you post your original response by Wednesday, and then make sure that you go back, and respond to 2 classmates by Sunday for the rest of the full points. So you can see the post that you're responding to. It says, summarize your interest, values, personality, and abilities as they relate to careers. So that should ring back to what we talked about here. Like, here are some of your abilities. We talked about different types of intelligence. We talked about values. So this is what this is focusing on. Also, in week 5, you guys took the career services, like the 60-question career coach survey, which would have told you more about your values and your personality. So you have all this information, hopefully, in just regular self-analysis. So talk about what your interests and values are. So remember, your posts are 250 words or more. So make sure that you are spending some time on this. As I said, I do check the word count. I copy and paste into my Word document, and I just make sure that you're close. If you're a couple words away, it's not a huge deal. But if you're like 100 words away, then I do dock you points. So make sure that you are maybe in Word, or you're keeping track of your word count somehow. So first, I would summarize your interests. So take the first, several sentences to really summarize your interest, value, personality, and abilities. Then, how does that connect to your career? How does all this work with the career that you've chosen or that you think you're going to go into? And then make at least 2 suggestions about career pathways to explore, or how you can develop your interests, values, and abilities. So maybe you need to go and you need to job shadow someone, or maybe you want to go and you want to get an internship, or you would like to just go and sit down and talk to someone about their career. Maybe you want to take some classes or workshops, or you want to spend time on the website we talked about in previous weeks, the BLS.gov, like all those things. So how can you kind of further develop your interest, values, and abilities? So that's your original post. Make sure you do both parts. Summarize all those things about yourself, how they relate to the career you've chosen, and then how can you further develop in your career as it relates to your skills and your abilities and values. Okay, so that's your chapter 2 discussion. Original post by Wednesday. Respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. Okay. Now we have our Chapter 2 quiz. So as a reminder, all questions 2 to 5 complete sentences. So I'll pull this up. I have a couple students who are having trouble typing in here. Like right now, you can see nothing's coming up. However, if I go up here and I hit Enable Editing, that's going to allow me to type. Obviously nonsense, but so just make sure that you have that there. If you're a Mac user, sometimes it causes a little bit more issues, but make sure you hit that Enable Editing button. Anyway, so here's your Chapter 2 quiz. You can see this one is more true to what the rest will look like. It's 10 questions. Chapter 1 was only 7 questions. So what you want to do is just make sure you really do answer all parts of the question, like right away. Explain why short-term or proximal goals are valuable. Why is learning to set effective goals important? There are 2 parts to that question. Questions like 2 and 3, for example, set you up with a little scenario. Like Lori has a long-term goal. What are some sub-goals? How can she monitor her progress? So it's kind of like a little story. So you want to make sure, again, you're addressing all parts of the question. Some of them are a little bit more straightforward, like 4, 5, 6. 7 is 2 parts. 8, compare and contrast career information from websites, or if you were getting an informational interview, how would that look different? How would that look the same? So please just make sure you pay attention to the whole question and address all parts of that question, please, so that way you can get full points. I'm usually really lenient on the first quiz or 2, and then I start getting a little bit more nitpicky in terms of, are you really making sure it's 2 to 5 sentences? Are you answering all parts? I do allow some leniency at the beginning, but getting into the habit now is obviously a positive thing. Okay, so the last thing you're doing is your college resource reflection. So you're going to reflect on career services, which is timely because we're talking about career information right now. Remember, you already had a digital library reflection, so this is going to be similar. You are going to write a 1-paragraph summary on what you learned. So this is the big thing I want to point out. On the digital library, I had people literally just list facts about the digital library. Here's when they're open. Here are the librarians. Here's the tools. That's great that you know that, but why is that important to you? Remember, this is about you. It's a reflection, how it could be helpful to you. I am very aware of career services. These are my colleagues. I know what their office does. So you don't have to tell me about what they do. What you want to do is, here's the direct link to career services. It'll say, hey, you're leaving Blackboard. You'll go in here. Here's career services. What you're going to do is spend some time clicking around and looking to see what they do offer. You can see there's lots of links over here. Maybe you're interested one day in an internship, so you can kind of click on that area and look to see, well, what does that entail? Maybe you're ready to start going to job fairs and doing some interview practice. You can click on that link. Down here, there are more resources. Handshake, which is like a job posting board. Career Coach, which you're already familiar with because we've used it in a previous week. Interview Stream, so lots of different resources here. So click around, and again, what you are going to do is you are going to tell me what you are most interested in, what you can gain from the particular resource, not just a summary of the resource itself. So you don't have to tell me all of these different components, all of these pieces. You're going to just maybe pick a couple that seem like you could really benefit from and tell me how and why. So that's the purpose of the resource reflection, particularly with the career services. So when you go to submit that, you can type it in a Word document and upload it, or you can click right here on Write Submission. So again, this is approximately a paragraph long, 5 to 8 sentences, reflection. Please do not just regurgitate facts. It's really about how the resource can help you. All right, so as a summary, you are posting in your Chapter 2 discussion forum all about your career, interests, values, personality, and abilities, and how you can develop them. You are going to submit your Chapter 2 quiz by Sunday, and you're going to submit your college resource reflection on career services by Sunday as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I hope you all have a great week. Bye.